Okay, now once you're at this stage, we have now flattened down all our layers into one image. Now it's really important at this stage to make sure that you unlock. Can you see the padlock over here? You unlock that padlock. Otherwise it will cause problems with you later on. Okay, so just make sure it's unlocked and we can do quite a bit of editing with this. Now, as you saw before, I can now, with this flattened image, adjust the entire selection by selecting the image, as so. Okay, and going on to the adjustment tool and changing that round. But what I would like to show you is how you can actually select different areas in the image. So at the moment, I've got the image selected, so I should be able to do some adjustments. Can you see? So going onto the Arrange tool, clicking on the image will allow me to perform those alterations. So brightness and contrast, for instance, will make it brighter or less so. So more or less exposure and contrast will make it quite strong and vivid or really sort of washed out. Further adjustments like temperature and tints can add a real warmth or a vintage look to your work or a real cold sort of frosty look. Again, if there's any ones that you actually go on and you think, actually I quite like that, again, feel free to stop, take a screenshot of it and take it over. Tints add more of a red or a yellow, a green tint to your work. So again, if you like those, click on those. Hue and saturation is really quite playful. That's where you can simply change the color outlay on this and get some beautiful color combinations. I mean, I really, really like those blues on there. I think that's fantastic. I think that's looking something special. So I'm going to click apply on that one. I'm going to take my snippy tool and I'm going to select that piece. I'm going to take that back and you can see now my compositions are really coming along now. There's some further edits now with the blues. Whilst I'm on colour, I might experiment with another one. So again, going onto the adjustment filter. Now remember, you've got to have the image selected. Can you see you've got to have the image selected for you to apply those adjustments? In this case, again, I'm going to go back to the hue and saturation and just maybe get some different colour edits on there, which will be on here. There we go. It's quite nice as well. So apply, again, take a snip, new, and copy. And then go over here and on that background, you can see those going in there. So you can see the two together really now, and you're thinking, oh, I quite like that. Or, you know, you might want to flip one round and arrange them on your PowerPoint so you can see them together. It's looking a bit weird, wacky and wonderful. Maybe it's better that way. It looks less like a brain. So you can, you know, arrange these on your PowerPoint as well. Do feel free to do that. So I might now just take these and cut them and maybe take the new slide and paste that in as something. It's a bit unusual. And, you know, when doing these lovely digital edits, you are creating something bonkers, really. And that's good because, you know, it's so hard sometimes as an artist to come up with something new and original. So by using this particular process and technique, I just group those together and you can see that now, how I've managed to go from, you know, those 3 random pictures, which were like this, and you're probably thinking, what on earth are you doing, Miss Morris? To something a bit more sustained through the use of filters and layering to these ones here. I'll just pop that one in there. And you know what? I might just resize that one, just pop that in there. And then obviously to create something like this, you can see how that one idea is really progressing. Okay, so let's go back onto here. Make sure I've got the selection highlighted. And then I'm going to take a selection like this. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that again. So make sure you've got the background selected so it's that lovely teal colour. Use the selection tool. You might want to use this, you might want to use this, you know, and then you can just, this time, instead of doing the whole thing, make that adjustment in one area. So like I was saying before, I really like those blues. I'm going to introduce those blues in some sections. Oh man, the greens are nice as well, aren't they? Can you see? Just adding in a little bit of something. Adjustments. Now these are very small adjustments, but they will make the world of difference. And if you're feeling a bit nervous about using colour, you know, later on down the line, this enables you to trial it now and see what it looks like. Can you see? So again, take my snip tool. I'm going to take an area of that, copy, go on my PowerPoint, a new slide and paste. There we go. Good. I mean, if I'm just looking at this now, I feel I'm at that stage where perhaps I can even crop this further down now and take a section of this that's working for me and maybe get rid of bits that aren't. Again, because I've flattened this whole image down, I can do that. So I can now just use the crop tool on the whole thing now. I'm going to take bits off that I really like, and I'm going to get bits off that I'm just not feeling as much. And that's normal, that's fine. Still quite like that, like there. And then, of course, when you're happy with that, apply. And now I've got my new cropped image here that I can take another snip of that. There we go. I can copy that and pop that in here. Lovely. Then, you know, at this stage, what else can I do? Well, there's all sorts. The whole image can have a flatten onto it, so I can actually flatten the entire image here. So I filter the entire image, so I can put a whole effect onto it if I wanted to. The vignette's quite nice, just to add a little bit. Can you see a depth to that background? Look how it's picking out those colours, making them really dark around the edges, or I can file that off quite high. I quite like that. Again, for the whole thing, highlights and shadows. Those are your blacks and your whites, the image. You can change those as well. Some quite nice effects in there. Apply. I can go directly into the levels. These are the levels. These are the darks and the lights within the picture. So if I want it more dark, I can bring it right down. I can pop that up. And that gives it more of a, can you see it's more of a posterized effect? It's got a lot of burn, which you can see the colours are really quite bright in some of the sections, almost phased out. So you can play around with that. It's quite strong in there. Bring that down and then whoosh that over, and then I can move that down, and this one as well can be adjusted. Quite like the way that I've got that solid colour now in here. It's quite graphic, that one. Is it enough for me? I'm not sure. Is it too strong? Let's have a look with the other ones. It does make the colour more vivid, I must say. Again, I can compare it, copy it, pop it on here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it kind of brings it out a bit more as well. It's a bit darker. I can see a bit more clearly the colour combinations of these. Lovely. And I've still got this one, which I'm still kind of going back to these and thinking, you know what, I still like that one. Nothing wrong with me doing this. Why not? Pasting it in. Copy V, rotate, flip. Make sure it's the right size. Flip that across. You know, that's quite unusual, isn't it? It almost looks like a door and an entryway, and the eyes have got a bit weird. Try the other side. I think that's probably more effective because you can still see the outlines of the face. Snip those two together, group them like that. Okay, so for me, I feel like I've sort of explored now this composition design to this stage. And I want you to come up with at least three of these. So this is one composition set. Okay, this is just one composition set. And I would like you to create 3 of these. Okay. When you've done with this PowerPoint, save it onto the SharePoint, upload it onto ClassChart so I can see what you have been doing. Okay, and then I'll show you just a few little bits that you can do next time as well. So that's the end of this tutorial.